On December 13, 2013, at exactly midnight, the world stopped. Stay in the spotlight. Hit like and subscribe for more untold celebrity stories. There were no press releases, no marketing campaigns, no leaks, just a single word appearing on iTunes screens across the globe: Beyoncé. In that quiet, electric moment, millions of people blinked, scrolled, and gasped. Without warning, Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter had dropped a full visual album, 14 songs and 17 videos, rewriting the rules of the music industry in one breathtaking move. What most people didn't know, however, was the storm behind that silence. The secrecy, the sleepless nights, the emotional breakdowns, and the defiance that made this night not just a career triumph, but a personal revolution. This is the true story of the night Beyoncé made the world stop, the risks she took, the people she deceived for art's sake, and how she changed music forever. In early 2013, the music world was expecting another Beyoncé era. A grand rollout, magazine covers, red carpets, singles, and interviews. But Beyoncé was tired of the noise. After giving birth to her daughter Blue Ivy in 2012, she found herself questioning everything: her fame, her music, even her identity. "I felt like I had to start all over again," she later confessed. "I didn't want to follow anyone's formula. I wanted to create my own." Behind closed doors, she began recording in complete secrecy. No announcements, no leaks, no hype. She didn't even tell most of her record label what she was doing. The plan was simple but radical: create art in silence, release it in shock. Beyoncé set up an underground creative operation. Parkwood Entertainment became her fortress of trust. Her small team signed non-disclosure agreements so strict that even her closest industry friends had no clue what was happening. In a world obsessed with attention, Beyoncé was quietly building an empire of mystery. Recording sessions took place all over the world: New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and even Paris. Beyoncé carried an encrypted hard drive wherever she went, a digital vault containing her vision. Every track was personal. Songs like Pretty Hurts confronted beauty standards, Drunk in Love celebrated sensual freedom, and Flawless boldly sampled Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's feminist speech, a statement of womanhood and power. But it wasn't just about the music. Beyoncé wanted a visual world to go with it, a universe where every song had a cinematic identity. So she directed, produced, and conceptualized 17 music videos across continents. Her creative circle was tight: stylists, dancers, cinematographers, all sworn to secrecy. Every video shoot was disguised as a commercial project or fashion campaign. Even background extras often didn't know who or what they were filming for. "I wanted people to feel like they were discovering something pure," Beyoncé said later, "not something sold to them." Keeping a project of that scale secret was emotionally brutal. Beyoncé was living a double life, performing publicly as if nothing was happening, while privately building a revolution. There were nights when she broke down crying in the studio, exhausted by the secrecy. "Why are you hiding this?" Jay-Z once asked her. She looked at him, tears in her eyes. "Because I need this to be mine before it belongs to the world." For Beyoncé, this album wasn't just music, it was liberation. She had grown up in an industry that demanded control: producers, managers, executives, and critics dictating every move. Now, for the first time, she was taking all of that power back. But the weight of that choice was enormous. Millions of dollars were at stake. Her label, Columbia Records, had no idea what was coming. Her entire career could implode if this silent gamble failed. In early December 2013, just days before the planned drop, a small crack appeared in Beyoncé's fortress. A snippet of one of her unreleased tracks leaked online, a short clip of Grown Woman. Fans went wild, believing a single or album announcement was imminent. Panic rippled through her team. Would the leak ruin the surprise? Would the press catch on? Beyoncé didn't flinch. She reportedly told her team, "Let them think whatever they want. When it comes, they'll never see it coming." That confidence became her armor. She refused to postpone or alter the plan. Every move, every hour had been calculated. right down to the time zone synchronization across iTunes servers. It was Thursday night, December 12, 2013, in New York. Inside Beyoncé's apartment, the mood was tense but electric. The final videos had been uploaded to Apple's private servers under strict encryption. At exactly 11:59 p.m., Beyoncé sat in silence, surrounded by a handful of people, Jay-Z, her manager, and her digital strategist. She held her phone in her hand, watching the seconds tick away. Within seconds, the iTunes store around the world refreshed. A single purple album cover appeared. No announcement. No warning. Social media went into chaos. Twitter exploded. Fans screamed. The press scrambled. Headlines appeared like lightning. Beyoncé just dropped a secret album, and the internet is losing its mind. Within minutes, the album shot to #1 in over 100 countries. iTunes crashed from the traffic surge. Instagram flooded with disbelief. Did Beyoncé just? Yes. She did. It was quite literally the night the world stopped. As the sun rose the next morning, executives at Columbia Records were stunned. Even they hadn't known the full plan. But instead of anger, there was awe. The numbers were unprecedented. Over 828,000 copies sold in 3 days, without a single advertisement. In an era where leaks and promotion ruled, Beyoncé had just proven that silence could be louder than noise. The internet called it the digital drop heard around the world. Artists called it career suicide turned genius. Critics called it the death of traditional marketing. But Beyoncé wasn't celebrating. She was home with Blue Ivy, sitting on the couch, watching the chaos unfold on her TV. She smiled, not out of pride but relief. She had done it her way. The self-titled album wasn't just a musical experiment. It was a manifesto. Each video and lyric peeled back layers of Beyoncé the brand, revealing Beyoncé the woman, sexual, vulnerable, political, and unapologetically black. "I wanted people to see me as I really am," she said. "Not a pop product, not a robot, a real woman with real fears and desires." Songs like Flawless became feminist anthems. Haunted explored creative suffocation. Blue celebrated motherhood. This wasn't an album, it was therapy set to music, an artistic rebellion wrapped in melody. And the impact went far beyond her. Artists like Taylor Swift, Drake, and Frank Ocean would later adopt surprise releases. Streaming platforms redefined their algorithms. Record labels began rethinking control. Beyoncé had shifted the entire architecture of the music industry overnight. Of course, not everyone was pleased. Some critics accused her of manipulating fans with shock tactics. Others claimed her secrecy was arrogance. But Beyoncé remained silent. Her only response was her art. Weeks later, during her visual album release event, she addressed the controversy indirectly. "There's so much that gets between the music and the people. I wanted to cut through that, just give you the art, pure and simple." That bravery came from a deep well of self-belief, the same fire that had driven her since the Destiny's Child days. When she stood on stage performing XO for the first time, fans sang every lyric word for word. The album wasn't just a success, it was a cultural earthquake. Years later, that midnight drop remains one of the most legendary moments in music history. It redefined how artists released music. It redefined how fans consumed it. And it redefined how women, especially black women, could claim their narratives without permission. In 2023, Rolling Stone called it the single most important digital release of the century. Even now, artists cite that moment as the reason they dare to innovate without fear. Because Beyoncé didn't just drop an album that night. She dropped a movement, a declaration that creativity belongs to the creator, not the corporations. That night in December 2013, Beyoncé reminded the world that true power doesn't need permission or promotion. She proved that silence can be the loudest sound in the world. That art can speak for itself. That confidence can shake culture. When Beyoncé made the world stop, she wasn't just changing music, she was reclaiming her voice, her womanhood, her artistry. And in doing so, she gave millions the courage to do the same. Thanks for watching.